Bishut Morai Verabotai, with the permission of Hashem, I would like to talk to you about now that Baruch Hashem we finished Matan Torah, we just finished Hag HaShavuot. Now, the parasha of Bechokotai, there it said, ובחוקותי תלכו, ואת מצוותיי תשמרו, ועשיתם אותם, ונתתי גשמכם בעיתם. That means that Hashem, He asked from us to study Torah with a big effort. And if you do that, so I will give you all what you need. As you know that Hashem, He created the world so that the people will respect the laws of Hashem. It's like, today, if you want to buy something, you have to pay for it. There is nothing free. But there is something that everybody can take advantage on it. It's free. When the oxygen that you breathe, it's free. You don't pay for it. The water, the rain, it's free. You do not pay for it. There is a lot of things that you do not pay for them. If you hunt in the desert, whatever you hunt in the desert, it's yours. You don't pay for it. There is a lot of things that you don't pay for them. That Hashem give it to you free. So Hashem said, what I give you free, if you want to use it, to breathe, to be healthy, you do not pay for it. Health. Oh Hashem, we're born health. Well, once you are ill, so you have to pay the doctors, but please God, if you are never ill, so it's something, it's health that Hashem give you free. So Hashem said, whatever I give you free, if you want it, if you want rain, if you want peace, even peace, it's free. Hashem, you can put in the mind of people war of peace. So Hashem said, if you study Torah, so the world will become completely normal. There will be peace in the world. You will get the rain. You will get the sun. You can take advantage of the sun. You take advantage of all what I give you free. But that only when there is Torah. But now the question is, why Hashem ask us to do an effort? Why Hashem will not say, I want you to study Torah, I want you to accomplish mitzvot, that's it. Why Hashem, He asks from us, to put a lot of effort to study Torah? Why? This is the question. Why? Why this effort? I was reading one Zohar HaKadosh, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai Alav Shalom. He says something incredible. He said that to get help from up there, you have to revive something. There is mitzvah that I do here. So the same mitzvah, the law of that mitzvah, it's up there in the Shamayim. When from here, you prepare yourself to do a mitzvah, so that mitzvah that had a connection up there, and up there, that mitzvah revive, mit'oreret, and there is help from up there to help you. It's like you are in danger, you call for help, and there is help who came to help you. I mean, there is somebody who is in the house, and there is thief coming to the house, so he called the police. The police get the message. Quick, the police came to help him. But all this when there is a connection. But if there is no connection with the police, no one can help you. If you're in danger, that's it. You have it. No one can help you. So each mitzvah that we do here, there is the Tzara want to stop you not to do it. But if really you want to do it, so you call for help. How we call for help? You start to do that mitzvah. When you start to do that mitzvah, the mitzvah that she's connected to that mitzvah up there, it's like there is tefillin here, there is the mitzvah of tefillin there. When really you want to put the tefillin here, so up there the mitzvah of tefillin help you to do it well. So that means, my friend, to get that kind of help from up there, you need an effort. You need an effort. And that's why Hashem asks, if you put an effort on the Torah, because by putting an effort on the Torah and mitzvot, you show to Hashem that you love Him. I mean, to love your father, it's easy. It's your father. But if really, in the middle of the night, he wake you up every minute, and you wake up to help your father, that it's an effort. That it's an effort. I was explained that Hashem is very jealous. Hashem, He cannot accept that people love material. They will put a lot of effort to buy a car. Like somebody bought a Porsche, and for 5-6 years he was collecting money. Collecting money. He wanted a Porsche. I mean, he's not a rich man, but he wanted a Porsche, a beautiful car. He wanted to show off. He wanted to show to his friend, look, I am. I mean, he's crazy, but that was his dream. So, a lot of time, we put an effort to wake up in the morning, to travel, wake up in the morning for a business matter. A lot of times we do a lot of effort. So Hashem did not understand. Hashem said, wow, you put effort for material, and what about me? You don't put effort on the mitzvot that I give you. And me, I give you life. I give you everything. I give you health. Even the effort that you did to buy the Porsche, it's me who give you the money to buy the Porsche. So I give you money, and you use the effort to buy a Porsche. What about me? Not a tefillin, not kosher, nothing. This is the reason why Hashem is jealous. Hashem Elkanah. He can't stand it. Why? From what I give you, you put effort for other things, and me, you let me beside. My friend, this is something that we must not forget. The same way that we put effort for other things, we have to put effort on Torah and Mitzvot. And for that, we have to be very wake up. My friend, there is a big rabbi, Rab Chaim Kazet, alav shalom. He was the chief rabbi of Belgium. And one day he said in a gala in Israel, a gala to collect money for poor people. And he said that when he was young in Varsha, and he was in the yeshiva, and there were a lot of boys that there was no room. If to sleep, so they had to sleep on the floor. Not everyone had a bed. It was a luxury to have a bed in the yeshiva. And one day there was a boy that he was blind, and he came to Varsovie to see some doctors, and he has nowhere to sleep. So he came to the yeshiva. He asked from the Rosh Yeshiva, the head of the yeshiva, that about his problem. And the Rosh Yeshiva said, "You're welcome. You can stay here. You can sleep, but I have no bed for you because all the beds are occupied. Look if you can see somebody to help you, to give you a bed." So of course, no one could give him the bed because it was the winter, was very, very cold. So that man, he was asking, and the Rab Chaim Krasvet, he said that when he heard him looking for a bed, he felt so bad for him, and he proposed him his bed. And the blind man, not blind, the one that he came for to see doctors about his eyes, he told him, "What about you?" He said, "Well, I can manage. I will sleep on the floor. It's okay." And he gave him the bed. All that winter was very, very cold. And then, Baruch Hashem, he got recovered and he went back home. And then the Second World War started. And the Nazi came to Varsovie. And they occupied the yeshiva. And they took all the boys outside Varsovie to kill them. And Rab Chaim Kreisvet as well, he was among the boys. And Rab Chaim Kreisvet, he saw the end of his life. He was a young man. And there was there a Nazi that he was enjoying killing the boys. And he called them, "David, come, run." When he started running, he killed him. "Moshe, your turn, run. Maybe you will have your life saved." And of course, when he started to run, he killed him. And Rab Chaim Kreisvet, he said, "Hashem, don't forget, Hashem, I saved a life, the eyes of a boy. I don't know if that boy is alive or not, but I give him my bed. I sleep on the floor. I did a sacrifice. Hashem, you can have my life saved, so I can study the Torah. I'm not better than all my friends. I just ask you, Hashem. Of course, I pray for all my friends not to be killed. But I ask Hashem, give me my life as a gift. Please, if you want. Otherwise, so I will go like all my friends. Hashem, I did a mitzvah. You said that anyone who saved the life of somebody, so you save his life. I saved the life of that man. Without a blind man is like a dead man. And thanks God, I give him my bed. He did not suffer all the winter. I suffered. So, the Nazi called, "Chaim Kreisvet." So he came, he was shaking. He said, "You start to run, but for you, I give you a special gift. I will count till 10. And after I count the number 10, I will shoot. If you have your life saved, good for you. So I will help you to cross the border. But otherwise, you'll be dead. Run! 1, 2. And the Rab Chaim Kreisvet, he said, he was shocked. 3. And then he started to run. 4, 5. And he ran. 10. And he started shooting. And Baruch Hashem, he did not catch him. The bullet did not catch him. So the German, he called him, he said, I am a German. I respect my word. I will help you to cross the border. Why you did that to me? He was asking to himself from Chaim Kazin. Why that happened? Chaim Kazin, he finished his story and he said to the public, my friend, I know one thing. The mitzvah that I did to save the life of that blind man, that's what saved me. I did an effort to give him my bed. So Hashem, he did an effort for me. And that's what the Torah said. If you do an effort to study Torah and to respect Torah and mitzvot, so Hashem, he will do an effort for you as well. And he will give you freedom, peace, rain. Otherwise, God forbid, well, you don't do an effort for me, I will not do an effort for you. So, my friend, as Maran Rav Ovadia Yosef Alav Shalom, he said that after 120 years, when a person arrives up there, they will tell him, what's your name? Moshe? Ah, you built a mikvah? No, I never built a mikvah. Yes. You built a school, Jewish school? No, never. Yes. You feed millions of Jews? No, I think you have the wrong name. I never built a mikvah. I never built a shul. I never built a school. I never built a yeshiva. No. Yes. Maybe it's another name. No. Here, we don't do mistakes. So, he will ask them, but this is the truth. I did not build a mikvah. Yeah, you did an effort. You helped that mikvah to be built. So for us, it's like you build it. You only give €5 $5 for a mikveh, and they can say there, up there, that you did you give the whole money. It's incredible. So how easy, how life is so easy to do mitzvot if you want. So let's take an advantage and do the best we can. God bless you, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.